Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Hey guys, welcome back for another edition of the Cerulean Beginner Yoga Series. We're in our class 3 today. Yeah, let's get started. So like I said, we're in our class 3 today. Today our class will be 45 minutes long. We're going to be building upon what we did last week. So last week we learned the Sun Salutation A, Namaskara A. And we'll be doing that again today. And then building upon that, which is going to be a very similar kind of flow or sequence, is going to be Namaskara B, Sun Salutation B, which is going to introduce Warrior 1 into our series. I'm hoping to make it to Warrior 2 for next series and possibly Warrior 3 within our 60-minute time frame next week. But for now, right now, we're going to focus on Warrior 1. It's a great pose. There's a lot of benefits to it. It will be done on both sides, on the right side and the left side. Again, modifications for today are putting your knees down in places. We're going to do cactus arms instead of, fully straight extended arms. This is going to be peak position. This is kind of mid position. This is kind of start position. So I want everybody to start in the most kind of neutral place, and then we'll work into more of these advanced positions, or I should say full positions. But I'm coming off of running and lifting weights right now, so I'm going to just be kind of being really tender to my body. I have dealing with a little bit of a hip injury, so I'm going to be working on that today and just kind of paying attention to that. So I implore anybody who has any sort of restriction or injury, whether this is your first time or you're revisiting this video, pay attention to that and just be compassionate to that, be considerate of that. All right, let's get started. Find your way onto your mat. Close your eyes. We're going to begin our deep breathing. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the nose. Really trying to make that ocean sound. Inhale. And exhale. Keep breathing like this. Inhale. And exhale. Keep breathing at your own pace. Find that deepness. Inhale. And exhale. Think about that golden thread coming through the spine, top of the head, elongating the spine, getting space in your back as you inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Let's begin to drop our chin towards our chest. Inhale, right ear to right shoulder. We're just going to slowly massage left ear to left shoulder, our neck right now. Inhale and exhale. Coincide your movement with your breath. Inhale, right ear to right shoulder. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Let's reverse directions. Inhale, left ear to left shoulder. Exhale, right ear to right shoulder. Inhale, left ear, left shoulder. Exhale, right ear, right shoulder. Come back to center on the inhale. Bring the gaze up, forward. Yeah, let's find length in that spine. Golden thread coming through the top of the head. Find your breath if you lost it. And the breath is really important, guys. All our movements should be coincided with the breath. So again, we're going to inhale, get big, exhale, find all of that space in that position. Inhale and exhale. Let's come onto our hands and knees for tabletop position. Do a little bit of cat-cow here and do some thoracic work. So inhale, that belly button drops down, gaze comes forward. Exhale, round the lower back, pull the belly button to the spine, gaze comes down to the ground. Inhale, Drop that belly button. Gaze comes up. Exhale, around that back. Pull the belly button to the spine. 2 more, inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more, inhale. And exhale. Okay, let's sit back. Bring your sit bones towards your heels. You can come up onto your fingertips if that's easy. You can stay down. We're going to work the lower back here, up into the upper thoracic area, doing cat-cow again. So inhale, belly gets big. Feel the roundness in the back. Shoulder blades draw together. Exhale, round the lower back. Pull the belly button to the spine. Shoulder blades spread apart. Inhale. Belly gets big. Pull the shoulder blades together. Bring your gaze up. Exhale. Round your lower back. 1 more. Inhale. And exhale. On your next inhale, let's come back to tabletop. Find your breath again if you lost it. On our next inhale, we're going to take our left arm up and we're going to thread it through underneath our right arm. Bring your left ear down to the mat, left shoulder down to the mat. And just breathe here. A variation of this would just be come down onto your elbow. You can just kind of hover. You can just bring your hands through and stay up, or just stay in tabletop position if it's too much. A couple more breaths here. One more big inhale. And on the exhale, let's come out. Back to tabletop. Inhale, right arm goes forward. Exhale, thread it underneath the left arm, right ear, right shoulder, go to the mat. Deep inhales. Big inhale, last one. And on the exhale, let's come up. Place our hand back on our mat. Inhale, let's take our knees wider, just as wide as the mat. We're going to rock back into child's pose. So bring your sit bones back towards your heels. You can stay here, or you can begin to walk your hands out. Remember to breathe. If you want to move, remember to breathe. Inhale. Get big, fill the space, exhale. Find the room. Inhale, big. Exhale, find a little more room. If you need to prop your forehead up, you can fold your arms, place your head on top of your forearms, or you can come up onto your elbows. One more breath. And on the exhale, let's come back to tabletop. Couple breaths here. Inhale, walk the hands forward. On the exhale, let's press back into downward facing dog. So lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Remember, you can walk your feet out wider if you need to be more stable, more challenging, the closer your feet are together. Let's just pedal out here for a little bit. You can always bend the elbows. As you're pedaling out here, some of the micro adjustments you can do in this downward facing dog is you're going to claw with your fingers. Start at your fingertips, clawing, activate your hands.
Roll your forearms inwards towards each other, triceps outwards towards the mat. On our inhale, let's take our gaze towards our hands. Exhale, bend your knees and step forward into a forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Standing Tadasana. Exhale, hands to heart center. Let's do a couple of those sweeping motions that we did last week. Inhale, arms go up. Exhale, arms come down. Come on, get big. Inhale. And let it go. Inhale. And exhale. We're going to work on chair pose. I want to say Uttanasana, but I'm not going to do all the Sanskrit. I'll remember it for next week. So chair pose. Take your feet out just a little hip width, less than hip width. You're going to be drawing your thighs towards each other, but pushing your knees away from each other. From here, you're going to begin to sit down. Your hands can begin to rise up, or you can keep them down at your hips if you need to. I find it's easier to counterweight. Bring your hands out forward like you're holding a bowl out in front of you. Draw those shoulder blades onto your back. Okay, let's inhale, let's stand up. And exhale. That's the basic pose of chair. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, so we're going to run through Sun Salutation A now. Ready? Inhale. Up. Bring your arms to cactus, forward fold. Inhale, gaze comes up into a half fold. Place your hands flat. Bend your knees, step back into a downward facing dog. We're going to pedal out here just a little bit more. We'll do some lion's breaths here. Big inhale through the nose. And when you exhale, stick out your tongue and shake your head back and forth. Inhale. Exhale everything you don't need. On our inhale, we're going to come forward into plank position. Exhale, lower all the way down. If you need to, place your knees down as a modification or support. From here, walk your hands forward a little bit so they're equal with your face, and just rise up, press up through your elbows and hands into a baby cobra. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, rise up, baby cobra. Exhale, lower back down. On our inhale, we're going to push back into a downward facing dog. Inhale and exhale. On the inhale, take the gaze towards the hands. Exhale, bend the knees, step forward. Forward fold. Inhale, bend the knees, stand up. Tadasana, mountain pose. Hands to heart center. Inhale, arms go up. Exhale, arms come down. Okay, you guys ready? And we're going to go. Inhale. Do a couple sun salutations. Exhale, forward fold, hinge at the hips. Bend the knees, find the mat. Step back. This time we're going to come into a plank position. Lower down, push your knees down. Inhale, rise up into an upward facing dog. Exhale, press back into downward facing dog. Let's pedal out the knees a little bit. Claw with the hands. Activate those forearms. I find that pedaling out really helps me get length in my calves and hamstrings for doing downward dog. Feels good. It kind of takes the pressure off, builds some heat. Our next inhale, let's take our gaze towards our hands. Exhale, bend the knees, step forward. Inhale, rise up halfway. Exhale, fold down. Cross your arms over each other and just sway back and forth. Giving some love to the lower thoracic area.
Our next inhale, let's bend our knees, rise up, mountain pose, Tadasana. Inhale. And exhale. So we've gone through one or two sun salutation A's so far. Inhale. And exhale. You guys ready? We're going to do a couple more. Inhale. And exhale. Bend those arms, cactus pose. Hinge at the hips, bend the knees if needed. Place your hands flat on the ground. Step back into a plank position. Lower down, chaturanga. Place your knees down or tops of feet. Rise up, press through the hands into an upward facing dog. Again, keep your knees down if you need to. Tuck your toes. Exhale, press back into downward facing dog. Inhale, bring the gaze towards the hands. Exhale, bend the knees. Step forward. Inhale, half fold. Exhale, full fold. Inhale, bend the knees. Arms sweep out. Big Tadasana. Exhale. It's the heart center. Inhale. And exhale. Forward fold. Hinge of the hips. Bend the knees. Place the hands on the ground. Step back into a plank position. You might be finding your limits now. So exhale, lower down. Inhale, rise up into upward facing dog. Exhale, press back into downward facing dog. Great job, everybody. Inhale, take your gaze towards your hands. Exhale, bend your knees, step forward. Inhale. Come forward, find length in your spine and a half fold. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend the knees, rise up. Tadasana. Exhale, hands to heart center. Okay, two more. Inhale, arms go big. Exhale, bend the hip, knee, hands find the mat, press back into a plank position. Draw those shoulder blades together. Lower down, push up. Again, put your knees down if you need to. Exhale, come up into an upward facing dog. Again, I'm keeping my knees and my feet down if I need to. From here, I'm going to tuck my toes. Find length in my spine from my hips first, and then press up through my knees. Be gentle, guys. Let's pedal out a little bit here. We're going to do one more of these. Inhale, take your gaze towards your hands. Exhale, bend your legs. Step forward. Inhale. Halfway, you can place your hands on your shins. You can let your hands hang. Exhale, forward, forward. Inhale, bend your knees. Rise up. Hands heart center. Inhale, big. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway, press the hands down. Step back into plank position. Remember, draw the shoulder blades onto the back. Place the knees down. You can even do it with the knees down if you want to play with that. We're going to breathe here. Exhale, let's lower down. Come all the way onto our bellies. Let's just take a few breaths here. Move the hands up if you want to do a little bit of baby cobra. Rise up. You can just kind of undulate. On our next inhale, let's place our hands down. Press back into downward facing dog. Bend the knees. Inhale, take the gaze towards your hands. Exhale, bend the knees, step forward. Inhale, up halfway. Exhale, forward fold, bend the knees. Inhale, rise up. Tadasana, mountain pose. So this is going to be the reset where the Sun Salutation B is going to come through here also. So we're going to do some chair pose. We'll hold that for a few breaths. I'll show you some modifications for that. And then we're going to go back through that similar series, but this time I'm going to show you the warrior series. So that warrior series is going to get introduced into that between Tadasana, plank, downward dog, upward dog. So that series, now we're going to introduce one more. So it's going to be the same. So stick with me. Okay, you ready? We're going to do chair pose again. So step your feet just about hip width apart. Toes can be kind of pulling in. You want to push the knees away, but pull the thighs towards each other. So again, you don't want your knees to collapse inwards towards each other. Sometimes I'll put a block or a blanket between my knees so I can squeeze that if I need to. So that's where we'll begin. Where are my blocks? Anyways, I'll put a block between there, squeeze it. But right now, let's just practice kind of drawing those thighs towards each other, but also pushing them away because we want to stay strong here. So again, we're going to begin to bend the knees, bring the arms out in front of us like we're sitting down in a chair. And there's different depths here. So you can stay up here. It might just be a slight bend in the knees. This might be as deep as you go in your chair. Find what feels comfortable for you. We'll sit down. Again, I'm drawing those legs towards each other, but also pushing them away. Trying to keep real strong and steady through there. Arms go out in front of you. Big inhale, guys. Come on, breathe through this. Bring the arms to cactus pose. All right, next inhale, let's go big. You can just play with taking your hands towards the ceiling. If it's not right, bring it back. All right, next inhale, let's stand up. Hands back to heart center, Tadasana, mountain pose. Let's take a few breaths here. Great job, guys. I know that was hard on the legs. Just breathe. Okay, let's inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, arms down. So we're going to come back. We're going to go into that sun salutation, but I'm going to show you the warrior pose. So inhale, arms go up. Exhale, let's forward fold at the hips, then the knees, hands find the mat. Exhale, step back into downward facing dog. Hips are up high. You can bend the pedal out a little bit here. Take a breath. Let's find our moment. Claw with your fingers. It's a beginner class. I don't want to run you guys too hard, so I just want to have these reminders that I use. Claw with my fingers to activate my hands. Okay. Exhale, bring your downward dog. Let's settle in neutral. Inhale, raise the right foot towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring it through. If you need to, drop the left leg down, knee onto the mat, okay? Inhale, come up. You can bring your hands to your hip. This is a modification of Warrior One, okay? If this feels good, you can always try playing with lifting that left knee off of the ground, okay? We'll get there. So from here, inhale, arms come to cactus pose. On our next inhale, let's try and take our arms straight. Make your shoulders soft, your traps from your neck to your shoulder. And exhale, arms back to cactus pose. Inhale, big exhale. Let's come back forward. Take your hands back to your mat. Take your right foot back. Exhale, lower down into chaturanga. Inhale, up into upward facing dog. Exhale, back into downward facing dog. Great job, guys. Inhale, left leg this time goes towards ceiling. Exhale, bring it through. Lower that right knee down if you need to. From here, you're going to push back. Bring your hands to your hips. Find length in your spine. Try and steady yourself. You might be wobbly here. If you feel great, try lifting that right knee off the ground. If you're going to do that, drive that right heel towards the back of the room. Left knee is going towards the front of the room, but not passing over the front of my foot. Inhale, arms to cactus pose. Exhale. Inhale, arms straight up above if you want to. Exhale. One more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Back to cactus pose. Inhale, hands down to the ground. Exhale, take that left leg back, plant the foot, plank position. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Great job, guys. Pedal out a few steps here. Find your reset,
Find your breath. Our next inhale, take our gaze towards our hands. Exhale, bend the knees, step forward, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, bend the knees. Exhale, hands back to heart center. Inhale. And exhale. Okay, one more. This time I'm going to show you the full pose. And remember, the modifications are to keep your knee on the ground if you need to. Inhale, arms up big. And exhale, hinge at the hips. Begin to fold forward. When you find your limit, bend the knees, bring the hands to the mat. Exhale, step back into downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot goes towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring it through, plant it. Begin to rise up. Bring your hands to your hips. Let's take 2 breaths here. If this feels good and you want to advance it, on the inhale, bring the arms up to cactus pose. One more breath. On the inhale, let's take our hands back down to the ground. Exhale, take the right foot back, plant it, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, up and upward facing dog. Exhale, back into downward facing dog. Great job, guys. Inhale, left foot goes towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring it through, plant it. Again, make sure that left right heel is pushing back if you're going to keep your knee off the ground. And that foot's really activated. Inhale, rise up. Hands can come to your hip as a starting point. Take a few breaths here. Inhale. And exhale. On the next inhale, let's come to cactus pose. Inhale, hands back down to the ground. Exhale, foot goes back to meet our right foot. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. On the inhale, let's take our gaze towards our hands. Exhale, bend the knees, step forward. Inhale, half fold. Exhale, full fold. On the inhale, let's rise up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Great job, guys. We're going to do another round of chair pose here. I get a little bit more of that in, and then we'll do another round of the warrior one. I'll show you the full fold position, and then maybe a modification of that I really like for just a thoracic movement. Now that we're warm, I can show this to you guys. And then we'll begin our cool down, and we'll move into our Shavasana. Sound good? Great. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale. Another big one. Inhale, arms come up. Remember, let's spread those feet a little bit wider. Exhale, sit back into a chair position. Hands out in front of us. You can come to a cactus pose if you like. Hands up overhead. If you keep your arms straight, remember to keep your shoulders soft. Drop those shoulders down. You don't want your shoulders hugging your ears. So cactus is a great place to start. One more breath, inhale. And on the exhale, let's stand up. Inhale up, hands up big. Exhale, hands to heart center. Okay, one more warrior series. Here we go. Inhale. And exhale, let's forward fold. Hands to mat. Inhale, step back into downward facing dog. Exhale. On our next inhale, let's raise our right foot towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring it through. Again, you can start with your knee down if you want, or keep it up. Nice and strong, you know the movement. We're going to move up straight. Cactus pose. Forearms straight. 2 more breaths, guys. One more breath. And on the exhale, let's take our hands back down to the mat. Inhale, foot goes back to meet the right.
Exhale, lower down. Chaturanga, inhale. Upward facing dog. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Great job, guys. Inhale, left foot comes towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring it through. Plant it down firmly. Drive back with that right heel. Rise up. Activate those toes. Both feet. Deep breath. One more breath. On our inhale, let's take our hands back down. Exhale, shoot the foot back. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, rise up, chaturanga. Exhale, back into downward facing dog. Inhale, let's take our gaze towards our hands. Exhale, bend the knees, step forward. Inhale up halfway. We're going to go back to just this swing. So exhale, forward fold. You can keep your knees bent. Cross your arms and just kind of sway back and forth. Take your feet out wider if you need more stable platform. We're just giving a little bit of love to the lower back. On our next inhale, let's bend our knees, rise up. And exhale, hands back to heart center. Inhale, hands go up. And exhale, hands back to heart center. One more. And this time I'm going to show you guys a nice modification of the Warrior series. Warrior One, inhale. And exhale, let's hinge at the hips, forward fold, bend the knees, hands find the mat. Exhale, bend, press back into the downward facing dog. Inhale, right foot goes towards the ceiling. And exhale, bring it through. From here, let's start with dropping our knee down. So the modification, keep that left hand by your right foot. And from here, press through and begin to rotate your chest towards your right thigh, extending the right hand towards the ceiling. If this feels good, you can always bring up that left leg. One more breath. On the exhale, unwind. Bring your hand back down to the mat. Step your right foot back, lower down. Inhale. Upward facing dog. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Okay, left side. On your inhale, left foot goes towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring it through. Again, you can drop that knee down if it's easier. Keep it up. Press down strongly through that right hand. Begin to rotate out, drawing that left shoulder blade back away and opening up. I think about it as like drawing a bow to help with that movement. One more breath. On the inhale, let's bring our hands back down on the mat. Step that foot back, exhale, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Great job, guys. Let's bring our knees down on the mat for tabletop. We're going to move into a child's pose here for just a little bit. So spread your knees out as wide as the mat. Hips go back. You can walk your hands out. Might be good here. If you want to create a pillow for yourself, you can cross your arms, play with the height. And we're just giving some space to that lower back. Great job today, guys. We're going to move into our cool down session here before our Shavasana. Your next inhale, let's come up into a tabletop position. I'm going to show you guys pigeon this week. So on the inhale, let's walk our hands out. Exhale. Inhale, let's press back into a downward facing dog. On the inhale, take that right foot towards the ceiling. And on the exhale, bring the right knee towards the right hand and place it down. and your right foot's going to stay behind you. You can lower that left knee down if you need to. It's going to look something like this. So your leg's going to be crossing underneath you. So that pretzel move that we did last week is a lot of what this is, except we're using the ground against both of our legs versus each other. From here, you can just kind of stay up on your fingertips. You can play on the palms of your hands. You can put a blanket or a block underneath your hip. I just kind of play around with it. Left foot, the top of the foot's down. You're going to get most of the stretch through your psoas, IT band, piriformis, hip flexors, stuff like that. If this feels great, you can begin to, I like to waterfall into these. I just kind of like undulate down. I'll build a pillow if I don't feel like putting my head on the ground or I'm just not there today. So on the inhale, let's tuck our toes under, our left toes under, press up, and we're gonna unwind. Exhale. Right leg goes up, find some space in it, bring it back down. Okay, we're gonna go left side, inhale up. Exhale again, you're gonna bring that left knee towards that left hand, leaving the foot trailing behind you. When it finds there, place it down. It's gonna be on the outside of the shin. You can begin to rock back just a little bit and find that space. And this might be where you're at today, is just up like this. There's a lot of benefits to just being up like this. Again, you can just kind of begin to play with it, like where it feels good. If I load more of my hip, be very gentle in this position. It can be very demanding. A couple more breaths. We're going to do the pretzel modification of this here in just a little bit. So this one is a difficult thing to get into, but you still want the benefits of it. We'll do pretzel on the exhale. Let's bring our hands back out in front of us. Right toes tuck under, press up, unwind, take that left foot back up, press down. Okay, on the inhale, let's bring our knees down, tabletop. Let's begin to make our way into a seated position on our mat. It's hot in here today. Might be because I just ran to. Okay, so our seated position here, we're going to begin to hold onto the back of our legs. We can walk our spine down ever so gently, vertebrae by vertebrae, until we find our comfortable laying on our mat. From here, take your feet out, mat width. Drop on the exhale, drop your knees to the left. Inhale, bring them back to center. Exhale, drop your knees to the right. We're just going to windshield wipe here a little bit. Inhale, knees back to center. And on the exhale, they drop to whichever side you're on. Inhale, back to center. And exhale. Inhale, back to center. 2 more breaths. This one gets my knee. It's an injury I'm recovering from. And from here, let's inhale, knees back to center. Inhale, bring your knees towards your chest, hug them in tight. Roll onto your spine. Roll around like a ball. It's just kind of massaging your spine. From here, let's reach through inside of our legs and grab our big toes for happy baby. You can keep your head up if you like, or begin to drop it back down to the ground. Spread your legs out wide. Just begin to play here. Stretching out some of your muscles that we've been activating today. Just playing around, finding a bit of silliness and forgiveness. On the inhale, let's bring our knees back together, hug them in. Exhale, feet back to the floor. We're going to do a pretzel here for a little bit. So inhale,
right foot comes up to on top of the left knee. It's going to look like you're sitting in a chair, crossing your leg. This feels good. Stay here. If you want to push it further, you can begin to push on that right inside of the right knee away from you. Be gentle. This feels good. When you want to go further, reach through, grab your shin, roll up, pull your left leg towards your chest, flex your right toes, your left toes, and push your right knee away from you. 2 more breaths. Deep inhale. And on the exhale, begin to unwind. Feet go flat. Floor. Inhale, left foot to right knee. Find space in there. If that feels good, find what your limits are. My left hip's really been bothering me, so I've got to play with this. Modify to your needs. 3 more breaths. On the exhale, let's begin to unwind. On the inhale, let's bring our knees in to our chest. Again, let's hug ourselves really nice and tight. And on the exhale, open up wide. Arms and legs go out straight. Find a comfortable position laying on your back. Palms can be up, palms can be down. You can place your palms on your stomach if you like. We're going to make our way into Shavasana right now. If you need a bit of groundedness, your hands might be on your stomach. You might have a blanket on you. It's a good way to feel grounded during Shavasana. Palms up, open are usually a sign of openness. Palms down, it's usually a sign of grounding. Let your breath begin to soften. Your bones begin to feel heavy. Your mind begin to become light. As thoughts enter into your head, just acknowledge them and let them move on. You can deal with them after the practice. Acknowledgement works better than ignoring them. Just acknowledge them. Let them know you'll tend to them when you're done. Begin to deepen your breath. You may start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, allowing the breath to fill every corner of your body. Begin to recognize the sensations in the room, keeping your eyes closed. Sounds, smells. Keep wiggling your fingers and your toes as you breathe. When you're ready, roll onto your right side. And from here, keeping your eyes closed, press up, making your way into a seated position. Bring our hands to our heart center. I invite you guys to join me for an Om today, but I understand if you don't. We're going to do 2. Take a deep inhale. Namaste, my friends. Thank you for a wonderful day. No, that was a big one. You guys did great. Hope you're feeling good. Went over a little bit, but yeah, this will get you guys ready for next week. So have a great day.